Hey everyone, so this is part 2 of our characterization notes. Now, with this video, we are going to go through the 5 types of indirect characterization, also known as steal. Now, there's going to be a lot on each of these slides, but just follow along with me. We are on the right side of our notes, which is over here. And as long as you just follow along with me, everything will, we're not going to take down everything that's on here. I've also kind of made notes already that you don't have to take down. So speech is just what a character says, okay? If you could also add dialogue. Why I have dialogue. Well, just speech is what a character says, and then I'm just gonna underline dialogue here. It is also known as dialogue. If you see a character speaking about another character, it's dialogue. Okay, and you get a character trait from them. Okay, so that's it. That's all speech is. Now, our next one is for here, right here, I think some people are eavesdropping. Well, how rude of some people, SpongeBob, Patrick, do you mind? And then I think they're like, let's continue this conversation in private, Patrick. So they're annoying. These two are annoying. And you know that they're annoying based on the things that they are saying here. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. This could also be considered effects on others, but we'll talk about that in a second. Thoughts, our second one here. Thoughts are... Oh my God, stop spacing. Thoughts are the character's inner dialogue. Okay, this is what you've got going on in your brain right now. These are thoughts, right? Thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow, thinking about what you're going to do tonight, thinking about what's for dinner, what's going on in a character's mind. Now, here's the hint here. An author may use italics. They may italicize. This is what italicizing looks like. They may italicize things to show you inner dialogue, but that's not a guarantee. Not all authors do this, but sometimes they will. But it's just assumed if it is not, they're not quotation marks, that there's inner dialogue is implied when you don't see quotation marks. So if you're like Susan, I mean, you'll see things like Susan thought or Susan pondered or decided or whatever. But if it's something about Susan that the author is writing from Susan's point of view, then it's generally considered to be thoughts. And it's funny here because we don't have any actual thought bubbles from them, but you can just tell they're really thinking hard about something. And knowing I don't remember this episode, but knowing SpongeBob and Patrick, it's probably something super simple that they're just overthinking and making way more difficult than it needs to be. Our next one is without a doubt the hardest one. This is known as effects on others. Now, effects on others are how characters react to your character. So you have a protagonist or an antagonist, and that's not always the case, but for the most part, that's what we're going to be looking at. And how do other characters react to them? Okay, I think about this one right here. These two idiots. They're arguing over Squidward and he is getting angry. So their effects on him is frustration. So they are frustrating. They frustrate other characters. That's what effects on others looks like, okay? It's just, you have to be looking for the reaction of other characters. Now, at the end of the day, this is really the only time we're going to just check to see if you can identify these types of characterization traits, but then just being able to understand that they are having an effect on other characters. Actions are one of the easier ones to me. They're one of the most common ones besides probably speech. Actions are simply what a character does, and you can usually tell what a character is like by what they're doing. Okay, now it can also be how you react to a situation. It can also be how they react to certain situations. All right, very common. One of the most common ones, happens all the time. And then you can see here, I think he's afraid of something because he's hiding underneath this. He's scared. He's scared because he's burying himself in the sand. That's actions right there. And then looks are the appearance of the character. That's it. Looks are the appearance of a character. But we're not going to sit here and come out and just completely describe the character, but it is quite literally a physical description of a character, but not in, we can't sit here and be like, SpongeBob looks, I don't know, bad. Okay, we need to be like SpongeBob hasn't shaved in 10 days or whatever. He has horrible 5 o'clock shadow. His eyes are bloodshot. He's sweating, dripping bullets. His face is wrinkled. It's not that type of looks. Like, because of all of these things that I'm describing, what can we say about him? He's anxious. He's tired. He's old. But you're looking at this character right here, and because of all of the things that I've described about his looks, what is his character trait? A lot of times you'll see somebody be like sloppy or clean based off of their character traits as well. And so then our last two things here are dynamic and static characters. They didn't used to be on our 6th grade SOLs, but they've added them this year. And so with dynamic, the character that develops and changes over the course of a story due to a conflict or newfound understanding. Almost always your protagonist will change. And then static character, this is a character who remains the same over the course of the entire story. So I think of like video games, right? The NPCs are static characters. They never change. They stay the same throughout the entire video game. Whereas the main character, your character, they grow and they change. Even just gaining new attributes, gaining new weapons, gaining new armor sets, gaining whatever you gain, you're getting stronger, more powerful, whatever. You're changing. NPC never changes, right? Dynamic characters. I think about the kids from the movie It. They greatly change as the movie progresses, right? Or as the book, oh my God, as the book progresses. Static characters, zombies from any story but The Walking Dead, they never change, right? They're never changing their desire. Their desire is always to find brains, right? So dynamic characters, always changing, always growing, learning something about themselves. Static characters, staying the same, never changing. When you finish this, there is a list of character traits. These are not all of them, but these are some that I've provided for you. And then we have a practice digitally, and we have a practice. We have just a bunch of practices digitally, okay? So please don't forget to open this up and do those practices when you finish. There will also be a quizzes attached to this as well to help you study for your mastery. Oh, sorry. Well, the quizzes will be on the practice. Ignore that part. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.